conversation, quite frankly, has already started. We're wondering if we're turning into our mothers. Stand by.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, and you know what the thing about it is, though?
Actually, she looks great. So if I can look like my mom when she's 74, I will take it, let me tell you.
My mom is a boombalati at 80. And yeah, and she's saucy and, you know, whatever. But here's the problem with turning into your parents, right? You Michael said something before we fired up the webcast here. And he said, well, at least you know the signs, what she's like. Well, no, that's the problem. When you're in it, it's that forest tree thing. You don't know you're doing it. That's the part.
Right. But your children will remind you. It's like...
Your children will remind you.
Yes,
they're
will.
really good at that. Well, so Colleen Bertino, how you doing?
Not bad. It's been a busy week, although most of it's been spent waiting for the Valentine merchandise. We do this every year.
Is it stressful?
It drives me insane. 35 years, and the 2 weeks before Christmas and the 2 weeks before Valentine's drive me crazy every year.
And you guys order at a specific time that's months in advance, right?
Oh yeah. But we're not the only people out there. And, I'm a mid-range chain, or 9 stores. I mean, they're, much larger companies. And I guess they figure, I don't know where I am sometimes in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
But it works out every year. Except, of course, if there's an ice storm. New Jersey stores got killed a few years ago. Just ice. Our stuff doesn't rot, so that's fine. I mean, it was there. People could shop. But, I just thought about florists and restaurants that were just totally screwed out of their Valentine's, but
absolutely
sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and speaking of that, we're going V-Day is on the way. That's our episode title today. We got Michael Radke in the studio. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing awesome. Well, I braved the insanity that was Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. And last night, everybody was coming, all the football players were coming back, all the tour players were coming back and everything else. And it was really funny because of the airline that we flew, Sun Country, we were down in this little isolated terminal, nothing. It was a mob scene everywhere else. So I felt like I dodged a major bullet. But how's the New Jersey stuff been going with those stores, with the weather?
What's really been lucky is, and I know my brother and my sister-in-law probably giggle, but I actually have all of their stores like on my computer and weather stuff. So I'm watching it and I'll go, what's it like? They're like, it's fine. It keeps missing us. I mean, the last hurricane missed them. It sort of swings around. They're way south, the south half of Jersey and surrounded by water. So it doesn't tend to be as intense as you get farther into like New York and Boston. But then again, a couple years ago when my parents were down there, driving around, they're driving, it's fine. And they get pulled over by New Jersey State Trooper. And they want to know why they're out on the roads because the governor's closed the roads. And then they looked at my parents' Minnesota driver's license and said, fine, just go home.
Just, you know what you're doing.
They didn't get a ticket or anything. But they were like, they just figured, hey, they're like, this is great. And then they had it never even occurred to them that the roads would be shut down. So
that is awesome. So tell me, guys, about the week at Fantasy Gifts. What's been going on besides stressing out over the Valentine's inventory coming in?
Well, we've been getting some of the new stuff in. There's a line called Wicked Loop, which we tested last sort of fall, and it went really, really well. So we decided to bring it in on a regular basis. And they have, really great new flavors. So that's in. We've got Conversation Hearts that have slightly naughtier stuff coming in. That's coming in. We're still waiting on some Sport Sheets 50 Shades of Grey inspired kits. They should be in by hopefully this week, so we can get them out by the weekend. I've been spending a lot of time putting on stuff on our website because there's just so many things. So there's a section on our website called Online Only, and I've been adding a line called MISTIM, which is an electrical stimulation product line. And I've got about 9-10 items left to go, and then I'm going to work at another company because this is a pretty specialized thing. These are pretty high-end items. It's just no way that I can just have them spend that much money on inventory sitting in the store when I'm not sure which store someone's going to go in. But if I've got it online, then, it's available at any time you want to go shopping.
Okay, you just covered a boatload of ground there, so I'm going to back you up to something.
That's why she's there, and I'm over here.
Exactly. No, I want you to back up to the Wicked Lube test. So tell me what that entailed and what the determinations were. Michael, I'm sure you had something to do with this.
Well, we all had a part in it, yeah. Colleen was actually our tester. She's tasted a lot of this. But as we got the new Wicked in our stores, I sat with my employees on the floor and actually taste tested every one of them. Some with other ones, like we have a salted caramel, we have candy apple. Those two combined are amazing.
Really?
Yeah, so most of our flavored lubes are used to be used with others. So it's really nice.
So it's almost like a mixed drink. You guys should have a lube bar.
They do.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think it would be
I'm
great.
envisioning like gallon bottles,
Right?
And bring your own container in.
And they taste so good, I want to put it on ice cream. Serious, I just want to bring a gallon of ice cream and just
A lube sundae.
Yeah, it's the salted caramel is actually my favorite, but we do have the vanilla bean, mocha java. A lot of people have a coffee fix. Just come in and get some lube.
Wow. Yeah. That can kill a couple birds with one stone,
There you
right?
go, right?
Oh my God. That is so funny. So then now go back to the electronic stimulation. Be more specific. What exactly are we talking about and who is it for?
Well, it's for everyone.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
it is, if you ever like thrown at your back, that's the easy way to do it. And you've ever had a TENS machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one.
Not going to say in CNN. They're certainly not going to say in Target cock ring. I mean, I can't even say that on air, but I can say it here. I got buzzed when I was in Chicago eons ago for saying the word cock ring, and I'm like, okay, but it's an appropriate term. But yeah.
Like when did that happen? Just out of curiosity, like what approximate year would you say?
Probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think you can get away with that word now. Depending on what time of day it is. But yeah. Right. Janet Jackson, though, I got to tell you, she, with her whole boob flap thing, that actually had more impact on radio broadcasting than it did television. The sanctions that came down after that, because I was with Clear Channel at the time, we had to take these quarterly. These little online, what was called the bucket test. What bucket do you put cock in? What bucket do you put shit in? But you know what I mean? Like seriously, and what time can you say it? And they, because they were so afraid of the FCC after. Yeah,
larger breasts than I do.
Right,
This is
man
the
racks.
Midwest,
Man racks. It's not good. Yeah. So, but no, Janet Jackson. I'm still mad at her over that because seriously, she made that whole thing a pain in my butt. So I'm glad. Thank God for the rise of the podcast. We can talk about the stuff that we want to. So I got there's some news stories for you.
Ooh, I love this part.
This is, I mean, it's like who does this stuff, but they do. So the first one was a suspicious package at the George Washington Bridge bus station, and it was the Port Authority that was called in between New Jersey and New York, both of them.
Okay,
This silver satchel thing, and so they had to come in and make sure that it wasn't explosive, and it wasn't. And so when they finally determined it was safe enough to get in there and see what it was 1,000 individually packaged condoms for men and women. I know.
Okay.
So I wonder who lost their, on their way to a show,
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like someone's on a way to
Well, the runner-up, at first, you can tell, and I saw the video of this, and I almost wet my pants. I'm serious. She kind of bitterly congratulates the winner. Her name was Carolina Toledo, but this person was Shislane Hayala. Hayala kind of congratulates her and then kind of steps back and then makes a decision. You can see the light bulb go off. She turns around and she yanks that crown right off of her head and just starts going downtown bang yelling at her. What? It was absolutely stunning. stunning. I mean, there they were full on. They had the whole, FloJo nails going on, big long dresses, and they are chick fighting on stage. It was more than I could ever.
I just don't know how you even move that much in some of those gowns.
Right.
I mean, they're going to weigh. I've lifted up some of those dresses. They weigh a ton. How do you even move in them, much less raise your arms high enough to smack someone upside the head?
Or yank a crown for that example. But they're also, in some cases, I know that this used to be like standard. I don't know how often now, but they will sometimes sew you into those. Yeah. Because of that very thing, and then you have to get like unsewn to get out
and glue yourself in.
I'd be claustrophobic. I'm like, I gotta get out.
Yeah,
out of this dress.
If you've gotten to that level, I think and depending on what was going on, because I'm sure there's a crap load of backstory.
Oh yeah,
I mean the frustration level must have been, beyond. That she would just do that.
What kills me about it though, that's one situation where there's television cameras and everything else. So this one, but all the stuff that gets caught on video now, it's like you can't do anything. I walk around, I'm kind of paranoid. I'm sitting here going, all right, maybe I need to start wearing like lots of hats and glasses and because
right?
you don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine sort of being in my teens or 20s or having any sort of notoriety or something like that where someone would feel the need to take like a video of you buying a coffee at Caribou. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're walking down a red carpet or if you've, made some outrageous statement where you've drawn attention to yourself, okay. But if you're just getting a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
What is the... I just...
And that's a lot of the headlines you see in magazines around in TMZ or something. It's like, they went out for a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Like, where's the scoop? Come on.
Right.
What'd they steal?
And
unless, if you did a commercial for Starbucks, let's say, but you went over to the local shop, yeah, you could bust someone for that, maybe.
I'd love to get, tons of random video of people that are like I am when I get in there needing that coffee. That would mean, that's a commercial right there.
They need it.
And then seeing myself turn, from, the raging dragon that's spitting fire into a normal human being after my friendly little Starbucks or whatever person has helped me. That would
make a great commercial.
Yeah,
I would.
Just team up with Starbucks.
I want to.
I can't imagine. I worked service for years, and to some extent, we're in service now, but I don't have as much. I don't deal with the public as much as I used to.
Right.
But I think that it should be a rule that everyone has to work with the public.
Oh, I think so too.
You need to be in the service industry, so you need to know what's happening on both sides of that counter.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you. In fact, a kid that was loading us onto buses at the Phoenix Open, and that was quite an extraordinary feat of bazillions of people. And, they had to screen you before you get on the shuttle that gets you into the course, and then they screen you again, and they look in your purse. And you know what? You just go...
What, you could bring a purse? They're not as
6
as
inches.
Okay.
6 inches. That's it. And so, yeah, but no, and you just... have to grab an attitude when you go in there. But one of the kids that was helping us get on the bus was like, people suck. Somebody had just said something to him. I didn't hear it. He goes, if you've ever worked in service, and like half of us said, we have, you rock, and I just felt bad for him because somebody just took him out for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but you guys don't have that too much at Fantasy Gifts, do you?
We do occasionally have a cranky customer. Mostly it's when they bring something that is probably dripping in a body fluid back like 2 months after they've bought it.
Good
and
Lord.
Then we won't take it back. And I'm not exaggerating. And we've had the same policy for 35 years. And I would say that 99% of the issues we have is when someone is jumping up and down about a completely unreasonable return, that this behavior probably worked at a big box store, probably worked at Saks, or probably worked someplace else. Mm-hmm. But we just can't. And it gets a little awkward sometimes because I don't have on-site management all the time. Okay. I don't have all the stuff, so I don't want to put the person behind the counter in the position of saying, okay, this return is okay and this return is not okay.
Right.
Because it just changes, and then they start. It's probably something they learned when they were toddlers. When they play one parent off of another, they'll play another employee off of another.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I just have a consistent policy, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Although, coming up to Valentine's Day and the same thing that happened at Christmas, we are so much more lenient when it comes to lingerie purchases. I mean, if it's still in the if it still has the tags on, it's still in the packaging, all this sort of stuff, it has not been touched. I mean, the fact that someone can show up with a size medium something and a size 2X something, and because someone just liked it and they bought it really fast, without looking at the sizes.
Right.
Yep.
We'll say, yes, pick it out whatever you want.
And it's not
store credit.
Obvious, like, in lingerie, I mean, that stuff can be notoriously tiny. So you can think, well, okay, but it's the wrong size. I can see that. Mm-hmm. No, but it's funny, like with regard to the returns that you have, and I think that is true. I mean, I would laugh and say, God, I would think everybody that comes in there would be in a good mood, because that's kind of the deal at my boyfriend's liquor store. Mm-hmm. They know that they're getting booze, so it's a pretty easy place to deal with the public. But yeah, I mean, it's like you guys couldn't even return that stuff to the manufacturer. It's like you'd have to have hazmat stuff. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it like I said, it gets a little frustrating, but it's such a tiny amount. But if you're going through a day, and everyone has a bad day. Even that person may have had a bad day. We don't know what happened before they came into that store, and we try and give everyone as much of the benefit of doubt as possible.
Sure.
But I will back my employees up.
Yeah, our goal is to turn them around. So if they have a disgruntled customer or something, they're already having a bad day, we want to put them at ease and make them have a better experience after that. We want to turn the situation around, make it right with them.
Yep.
And then make sure that the rest of their day is going positive.
What about a person, Michael, that and I know that you get out to all the stores, on a regular basis, that, that comes into Fantasy Gifts, and the person is not necessarily, they're not crabby at you because they haven't had any kind of experience yet, but they're in kind of a funky mindset, but that they're there and they want to look. How do you break the ice with someone that looks pretty edgy? You know what I mean? A crabby customer that wants to talk about condoms. I don't know. How do you do that?
Just breaking the ice, just talking to them. It's you find out what they're in there looking for. Somewhere to start. It's like, okay, I had a.
But do they tell the truth?
They do.
Okay.
And I get, when I'm at the stores, I get a lot of guys come up to me because I'm a guy, so they think that I'm going to have an answer to their guy problems, which I do. I'm very aware of situations. So I've had guys come in and talk to me about their prostate. I had a customer that lost his prostate due to cancer.
Oh.
And asked me about prostate toys and everything. So I had to assure him that, without that prostate, I'm not sure if that's going to work properly. So he does need to talk to his doctor to see if those, nerve endings and everything are still going to make it work for the prostate. So we did talk about some butt plugs and some other options as well. But he also had a problem with penis getting hard and everything, so we had to go and step into that. But they get really comfortable talking to me. I put them at ease right away, as well as the females get comfortable talking to my female ladies.
Yep.
A couple ladies, I was at my Burnsville store, and I was putting product away, and a couple ladies, it was a girl and her mom. Apparently her mom must have brought her in for, her first toy or whatever. And I heard the girl, she's like, you ask somebody. You ask them. I'm like, I just approached them. I'm like, would you like me to get one of my female employees? If you feel more comfortable, I would definitely, I want your answers, your questions answered. If you feel more comfortable talking to my ladies, I'll go grab one of them. It'll put them right at ease right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is. Oh, speaking of that, Colleen, we should mention too, because we were talking, I'm sorry, say the name. I don't know why this is not sticking with me. The tens comparison thing. It's called what again?
Well, the brand name is Mystym. Mystym.
Okay. And it's online.
It's online.
FantasyGifts.com.
And you're going to find it under the online only
section.
sections.
It's under our ECN site, I believe. It's Fantasy Gifts MN.
No, I put it under the regular Fantasy Gifts. Mm-hmm. I am going to be adding a few more things onto it. But hopefully when we get back to the warehouse, it will be filled with the pallets.
That's what we can always look forward to. It's always, right now, it's the waiting for the storm. It's like we're all pumped. We're ready to get this product out. We're just waiting for the product.
And there's still 10 shopping days left for Valentine's Day. So now is a good time. To get out there and really look around. And if you want to go back and think about something too, now it's not that day and you're just grabbing the last thing. I mean, I wouldn't think an impulse buy on some of the stuff you had would be a good deal.
It can be. Well, we know what's going to happen starting from about Wednesday on of next
week. Yeah.
And so the employees that have been there know to double check the prices. Like like I said, you've got a medium and a 2X. Is this right? Mm-hmm. Or you've got this toy and you've grabbed these batteries, but it should go the other way around. Or you've got this toy, but this lube will stick to it. So we're trying.
Good point. Yeah. Good point.
So they at this point, they know to to direct a little
Okay.
bit more.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, that makes absolutely perfect sense. I mean, and I'm going to get my Valentine's Day shopping done way early. Got another quick news story for you, and then I want to switch the tide to some of the kits that have recently come in. This one absolutely slays me. Oregon State University, ironically, the Beavers. We got a girl, 19-year-old, facing public indecency charges after posting a 31-minute masturbation video that she shot in the OSU library. It surfaced, it was recognized, and she's now facing up to a year in jail and a fine of over $6,000 for this, right?
But what I'm fascinated by, if it was discovered online, and it wasn't discovered while she was there,
right?
How is it possibly, I'm confused.
Well, there's a student.
Or it could be the fact that, someone was just, if someone walked in on her, hey, she's taking a risk there.
Well, I love this quote from this adorable OSU student. One of the radio stations got hold of her, and she goes, "I was just so surprised that someone was in our library doing that, especially for 31 minutes. I feel like it's always packed. I mean, I just don't know how you could get away." And I'd be standing there saying, it's like, yeah, and then do you want to touch the books?
Right.
Ew.
Right. And what section was she in that's not as populated? What section of the library was she doing this in?
I know, exactly. And that happened at another university out east. And remember, they had to have the books steam cleaned?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you suppose that you just got every university library trying to figure out where they need to put their cameras now?
Well, yeah, because the other cameras are running amok, it sounds like, and these things are popping up. But it's like, put that online. Nobody's going to go, hey, wait a minute. I know that place. Hold on. I've been, ooh, I just got that one. No, that would crack me up. So the countdown, I mean, what's been the activity in the stores now with all of the new 50 Shades merchandise? And I would imagine yours is a little bit more spicy than what is in the big boxes.
Certainly. We talked a little bit about the Red Room stuff from Jopin last week, but there's the lines from Sport Sheets. But it's usually sort of put together in sort of mirroring what's used in the movie. You've got your blindfolds and your Benoit balls and your anal toys and your handcuffs or your ties, and so they'll package everything together so that you're not going, what do I need? You can just, there it is. It's all put together.
It's for those guys that are the last minute shoppers. It's like they're going to come in a couple days before Valentine's, like, okay, I need something. And those kits are really nice because if they do, and then most ladies are going to watch the 50 Shades, they're going to want to do something part of that. So the guys can come in. We have the kits all set. Go home and act your own 50 Shades,
Yeah.
Just act it out. Little costumes from our lingerie department always help. We have a great butler uniform for the...
Oh.
We have a bunch of, tuxedo songs and stuff like that. So you can act out your own 50 Shades however you want to see it.
That's cool.
Played out, yeah.
That's cool. I actually got my boyfriend to dress up as a Keystone Cop last year for a Gatsby themed party that was out in Minnesota. We have the Wabasha caves that are very entrenched in gangster history.
Oh, my friend had their reception there. That was so much fun.
So you've been there,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite the tour. I mean, and you can see actual bullet scars in certain places, there in the walls. So we knew that everybody was going to dress up like gangsters. So I did the flapper, and then he was my cop, because I had I had a toy gun in my garter and stuff. More fun if you ever get an opportunity to dress up and go do that. And then, of course, it's so fun to go and take the costumes off. So I digress. Speaking of that, Antonio Banderas came out. Did you see his comments over the weekend about the movie 50 Shades? Dakota Johnson was his longtime stepdaughter, and she's obviously in it. And he really went through a really nice review of the movie and said he was very proud of her work and thought she did a really good job, which I think is pretty cool for a dad-like figure.
Right.
Well, if you're, they're actors. I mean, this is acting.
Yep.
And so if someone can play a believable part, or if it's, and if it's someone that's part of your family, yeah, you support them.
Yeah. So with the two of you here, and Michael, I love it when you come sit in with us here on the Great Northern Sexcast. I'm just wondering, we've gone through different years. You could say, the 60s, we had the Summer of Love, and that was one type of revolution. Then, things maybe swung back more conservatively, maybe around in the 80s for a while. And then, after the, days of Studio 54 were over and, things like that. And I'm just wondering if this is on the front end of anything that you guys think is a new era of sexual consciousness.
The 50 Shades, I think, ever since the first books came out, I couldn't go to any airport, even out of the country, or any hotel, and ladies were reading the books. So I think it's been going on for about a year and a half now, but I think it's, I think it's there. I think people are going to start tapping into their little kink side. I think they're going to want to try something a little different,
And for the number, how many years have you been working with Fantasy Gifts team?
8 years.
Okay, that's quite a while. And Colleen, your family, obviously, for 35. I mean, what would you say about kind of the ebb and tide of trends over the years, just in general? I've been dying to ask you this all week.
Well, it is. It's cyclical, just like everything else. Close to 20 years ago, we had a much larger leather display in the store. And then people just sort of got bored, or they went online and got exactly what they wanted. And then with the internet and 50 Shades and different stuff like that, people are, buying the specialized items again. And so just sort of knowing, like what's going to be the next trend, now we're out there searching around and folks are, taking a look at what's happening with, books or movies or this or that. But the light bondage will probably work its way into heavier bondage.
Okay.
Because, and then, everyone was like, okay, we've done that. What's next? I mean, the anal toys have been actually increasing for probably over a decade. I mean, it used to be a separate movie section.
Okay.
And, now it's just in pretty much all adult movies.
Okay.
And so, you can see where that's just become more mainstream.
Okay.
And I really think, and we are talking about, bondage. We're not talking about S&M. I think that's just going to become more mainstream also.
Yeah.
It's just a part of your repertoire.
Well, and it's, kind of, I mean, on that line, disagree with me if you need to, but it's almost like there was a time when vibrators were like, ooh, naughty. Oh my gosh. And now we talk about that all the time, and I think we kind of don't ever backslide as far as, before these little mini revolutions. You know what I mean? Or do you agree? Or?
Oh no, it keeps, you might drop back a little bit, but it's always in a forward progression.
So speaking of movies, they had the basically the porn equivalent of the Oscars in Las Vegas, not this past weekend, but it was the weekend. Fantasy Gifts track that for what to stock?
When it comes to movies, there's so much that's available online. I mean, honestly, we just, we simply don't sell what we used to, let's say in the 80s or 90s, but we still do a reasonable amount. So we'll keep the classics in. We'll keep a good series in. We keep the romantic movies, the couples movies in. In fact, we have them separated. So if, 50 Shades leaves you wanting a little bit more, we've got more.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah. But we'll take when the lists come out, we'll take a look at it. We on our customer request, we try and get stuff in. But it's really because you're never sure what's going to do it. I mean, Kardashians, if they get in the news again, in a different way, they're always in the news. Or this or that. I mean, you have to keep that movie in, or Tommy Lee and Pam.
Oh, Pamela.
You keep that one in. So, the Pirates, but it's, the industry is changing. But, the movies right now pretty much in the stores are running by customer request. Yeah. But, what the local folks want is what we'll get.
And the parodies are doing really well as well.
Are they?
The parodies are good.
Nobody can make funnier parodies than the porn industry. I'm sorry.
Right?
And the titles, I mean, it is so much fun just to go and look at the titles. It's like if you're having a bad day, that's highly entertaining to go to. But I got to tell you, is there anybody at this table that did not see the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson? We all saw it, right?
Oh God, what is that, like 15 years ago now?
It was
something?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I did. I haven't looked at it recently.
Well, back then, and this is before you could stream and and all this kind of stuff. My friend, I was like, damn, I haven't seen that and whatever. So she actually copied it onto a VHS tape and mailed it to me because we don't live in the same states. But you know what she wrote on it? Tripod, the movie.
Well, that would pretty much take care of it.
Yeah, it was accurate. I'm just saying.
I thought the movie was a riot. I thought it was fun. We got to spend their honeymoon or whatever with them. You know, they didn't even quite make it out of L.A. before they were parked on the side of the street getting at it.
Oh God, no! And you know what? Unfortunately, one of my money clients did a riches to rags episode recently. Poor Pam, and she actually does seem like a pretty nice person. I know she's really into animals and certain other kind of causes. She's really kind of made the effort, and she suffers from hepatitis C. Poor thing, but she went through a major financial distress and has ended up living in a trailer.
Oh, you're kidding?
No. So sorry, Pam. We hope you're back.
Yeah.
Something, good luck to you. So, all right, Michael, the Valentine's Day, and it doesn't have to be GLBT. I mean, you've had your finger on the pulse of this thing in those stores. I want to hear from across the board what you think should be the hottest things this year.
For just not GLTB and everything.
Just all of it, yeah.
All of it. We do go with the couple. Put on your favorite pulse and, stroke yourself, even if you're on, Valentine's by yourself. We do have the things that are going to get you through Valentine's.
Well, and you know what? That is an idea. We've all been, I think, in our lives where we've had those Valentine's days where we were alone. So this might be just the thing. It's like, go home, get your favorite whatever adult bev, and,
Get your favorite parody, go home, and...
the parodies, because it's funny that you bring that up too with the movies. Like, what's the average price point on the movies these days? Would you say they're DVDs, right?
It usually goes about $34.95. I think is most of our highest for a lot of our parodies, our features, and stuff like that. We do go in the cheaper rounds too. We have $5 specials at most of our stores. We have $9.95 movies, but our features and our most popular ones are going anywhere from $34 to $44.95.
So you said something a second ago, Colleen, where you talked about how much is available online porn wise. But, with now, through the cable company like Xfinity and the like, you can't order there. But here's the thing. I don't want a record of what I watched on my cable bill because they use that for...
There's a history. There is. They're going to...
Yeah, it's on the bill. Because I have to admit, several years ago, I'm like, well, what happens? So I ordered one, and then that title showed up right on my Comcast bill, or was it Time Warner? I don't know.
Yeah, whichever.
Mega cable bill. Let's just call it that.
Yep.
And I'm like, there is... the privacy, is huge. And this is why we still do fairly well with DVD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if you're over 18 and you've got cash and an ID that shows you're over 18, you get your movie. And I keep no records.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if you're buying Frozen or if you're buying Behind the Green Door, to bring a classic in. It's none of my damn business.
Yeah.
That's right.
It just isn't.
Yeah.
And we do the same thing on our websites. We're working on our newsletter. There's the word.
That's
oh
that
my
word. Newsletter.
Very excited about the newsletter.
But we're working on with our new website. There's a spot where you can put your your email in for a newsletter if you want to, and that way you can opt in. There's no way. I mean, I probably get 1 in 50 people that want this, but really I am not going to annoy those 49 people. And just because I have their email from a website,
right,
you're not getting squat from me.
You're not going to get no spam mail. You're not going to get it. Even if we end up with your email, we're not going to send you anything. We're going to have you opt in. It's your choice to come and view, like Facebook. You can join our Facebook and see everything fun, but it's your choice. It's not ours. We're not going to send you stuff.
We just set up, we're working on setting up an Instagram account for Fantasy Gifts, but we also still have the Facebook site for this show.
Yep.
And the Twitter site. Twitter? I can't. Twitter. Wow, that's going to be fun to say. The Twitter account for the site, which is at GN Sexcast. So when we're talking about something here, you can go over to the site and see pictures of everything and a little bit more information. And once again, like I said, anything I may have screwed up, we'll set the record straight.
Well, yeah, and if you go onto Facebook, and I just got to say, it's Megan, right, that's been helping with a lot.
Yes.
Oh my God, she has put up some of the funniest stuff on the Facebook page on Great Northern Sexcast. If you just type that in, search for people, you'll pop up. You'll see our dancing little or our dancing vibrators, tippy-toeing through the tulips, and then she just put some really, really fun stuff up. So if
She's
you haven't,
great with words. I'm telling you. When I have anything public to do, or we did the fashion show. I did the MC, but she put the whole script together. She's great with words and everything, putting it all into nice little packages and everything.
Oh, and she's got a good sense of humor because the stuff she finds
great
is
wit,
just,
I'm telling you.
She is witty. So yeah, that's a page that'll definitely make you smile if you're whatever kind of day that you're having. But speaking of that, are there any specials for the Valentine's holiday? Anything specific that you got? I don't want to say pushing, but anything that's like.
No, well, okay, the Wicked is new, and we brought in a few more flavors. Those message heart butt plugs are just in for Valentine's Day. The Red Room stuff is is just in for Valentine's Day. We have brand new dildos from Blush and a company called, I'm going to blank on the name of the company, but brand new dildos. They are spectacular. Some of them are silicone, all of them are phthalate free. They actually smell pretty good. Yes, we smelled the dildos.
God, I would love to see what your daily calendar looks like. Taste lube, sniff dildos.
Well, we were pricing all these. We were pricing all this stuff, and it comes in. So of course we crack them open. I want to smell them. I want to make sure. I mean, the suction cup on the bottom. I want to make sure it works. The wax on the wall. Yes, it does. It smells good. You just need to know. I mean, Tara doesn't get anything in unless she thinks it's spectacular. Okay. But when it comes in, we all want to take a look at it too.
Sure.
And it's just so much fun. And we're pricing them, and there's 12 in this box, and there's 12 over here and 6 over there. And I just yell across the office the other day, Eric, how many inches do you have? And he answers because he knows what I'm talking about. And then we both pause for a moment. And I go, just again, one of those things that just the amount of times that stuff like that comes flying out of our mouths, and we just like, well, you just really can't say that in other places.
You can't, I'm telling you. And that's the same at the stores too. It's like, I get kind of, because I'm really close with my employees and everything, and we'll go in because Wednesday is our day for order. So I'm like, I'll come in, I'll bring the order. I'm like, okay, I just dropped my load on your floor. There's so many puns to this, and my employees customers are like, what did he just do?
Is there Kleenex?
Right.
No, but they after it sinks in, I'm sure it cracks them completely up.
Yeah, we like that. There's just that pause where we all, or sometimes it's like 20 minutes later. Well, we'll go, wait a minute. It's so it becomes so ordinary for us. And then there are other times when we just giggle. I got a phone call the other day, and I looked over and I glanced at it and I realized it said BM. And I was like 13 again. And I'm like, really? Seriously? Did you just... Well, if you can't have fun with the little stuff, well, why not? It doesn't. Life would be really...
toy warehouse.
Life would be really,
yes, you are.
Would be really, really boring.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I'm just laughing. I was coming across. I was doing a little shopping actually at fantasygifts.com, and I thought it was really interesting. I did see something that I want to hear more about because it wasn't necessarily obvious to me what it is or does. Okay, so this was the Body Boudoir Love and Luxury Pheromone Mist. Now that is a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
What is it? Oh, did you bring it?
Well,
yes.
We brought them. What it is, it's pheromones. If people are familiar with those, it is the it's the scent, or it's the male and female or animals.
Okay,
like it opens up the endorphins or something, makes you feel good.
And so they have products out there. There's so many products. We carry a few, but one of them we carry is it's just sort of a spray for your sheets. Mm-hmm. So not only does it sort of freshen your sheets and to make a nice scent, it just gets you more relaxed. It gets you more in the mood.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it is powdered as well, so it actually it goes on top of your sheets, so you're actually silky smooth too. So when you are rolling around, there's no burns or anything.
Sheet burns,
rug burns, however you want it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we do have a couple flavors on that. We do have the black lace, which is very popular as well.
Okay.
And then the one that cleans
Sweet Blush.
Okay.
And Fresh Love.
I don't know about you, but I like spraying my body or spraying my sheets with that, the scents and stuff. It makes me sleep better.
Does it really?
It really does.
Okay, that's awesome because, I flipped and flopped last night and I am really, like essential oils, I'm really a freak and into those because they just, I don't know, they calm me, and perfume is just too overwhelming for me. It's too strong. So I like the, stuff that sticks pretty close to it. So that right on the sheets, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you spray that on the sheets, and it makes nice and silky sheets, and it's a little mist that's...
Anybody hasn't ever thought of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I am so excited because I'm like, what the hell is this? I was looking on there, and we had 3 people that were kind of shopping with me, and we were just looking and trying to find some stuff. So speaking of that, I want to know lately, because I know you guys, we accidentally started about talking about Tickle Your Pickle about a week ago. That came up when Liz was on, and she was saying that she had just an absolute run on those at a party once that she took. But what else is flying off the shelves, and why would you? Because a book might be a fun one too for Valentine's.
Oh, it is. We do have a couple new options too. We just got the Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure, so it'd be a great gift for the the gays too, because you actually gives a step-by-step guide on how to do different prostate massages in different ways. But yeah, we have a big, nice book for the Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure. And then we did get a couple other books in. We got the Beginner's Guide to BDSM, a little light bondage and everything.
Yeah, there's the Naughty Boys Show You the Ropes. We rotate them around. There's a lot of books, but there are several beginning bondage books.
Okay.
So if you just don't want to buy something and go now what do I do with it?
Right.
They're just very easy to follow guides. We sell a lot of erotica. It sounds funny, but we do very well with the Penthouse series of letters, and they're really fun to read.
Okay.
So if you're looking,
those are great. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's real people. Well, theoretically.
Yeah.
Embellishing, but yes.
But great stories they have, And,
Yep.
we do have the Kama Sutra for gay and lesbians as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, several. At least a half dozen different sexual position books too. Sexual position of the day, or those always do well the time of the year too.
Yeah, well, and I think the cool thing is, and wouldn't you say in a sweeping generalization sense, though, that guys, a lot of the books that you have and the ones that do best for you are how-to ones that aren't real long, but they've got,
a lot of pictures.
Okay, thank you. You said it. Thank you. But yeah, I'm sorry, but you can't describe that stuff.
No.
You kind of got to see
I don't want
it.
to sit there and read either. I just okay, wait, I'm almost done with this chapter. Okay, now we can do it.
Okay, okay. I just want to know: do you ever get the stories where it's like, okay, they come back and say, "Well, we tried the book," and it's like, okay, you go over here. All right, leg. Okay, nope. That's all wrong. Nope, get the book. Seriously.
At that point, I'd be getting the how-to video guide. We have the Wicked educational videos, too, and they just came up with the Wicked guide to BDSM. It's Jessica Drake's guide to
she is
Wicked.
so sweet.
She is.
Okay. So she was in town to surprise everyone when we had a seminar. And we were going to dinner the night before, and I spent the entire evening next to Jessica Drake.
No, wait, is she an author? Back up for those of us behind.
She's an adult movie star.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no,
okay.
I spent the entire, and she's working now with Wicked. She's got her own line of movies. She is the spokesperson for the Wicked Lube line. And I spent the entire evening sitting right next to her, and I'm like, God, she looks familiar.
Oh my God, seriously?
Seriously, I did that.
And she's sitting right next to her.
And I am just laughing because
God.
at one point she gets a really crappy lime in her drink, and I'm like, you don't get to. I don't know, but she don't get to. So I just pluck the lime out of her drink, and I stab it with a fork, and I hand it to Eric, and Eric wanders up to the bar and said, "This is an inappropriate lime." It brings it back.
Of everything that was being talked about in the room, the lime was inappropriate.
The line was inappropriate.
Okay,
but we spent actually a big chunk of the time talking about her. I was talking to the owner of Wicked next to me, and we spent. We're showing pictures of her kids and just that because it was the night before the seminar. That's work. This is a time to get together and meet some of the reps and stuff that we're talking to. But I'm halfway. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm texting later going, was that? And they're like, yes, it was. I said, oh my God.
That was amazing too, just seeing her like that. And she's so down to earth. She's just the way she brings to a table, and it's like you don't even feel intimidated or I was comfortable all night. She's just an amazing woman.
Yeah,
She's very well spoken, a great businesswoman.
She is not associating her name with a crap product. This is really nice stuff.
But you know, that brings up an interesting comparison to you, Colleen, having this family business, and that you're all in, because I've met the family. I've seen them there. And, you know, there's kind of a line between, this is what I do for a living. Don't you think that gets a little weirder when you're an actual performing porn star? I think that would be a little harder to explain with kids and to manage. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I know that folks at one point, interview after interview that I have read or stuff, they always pretty much say, you know, once I have kids, I'm done. Going through there, because it is too much. You know, like there's going to be enough explanation, but to continue on, it's a little, you know.
Wasn't Jenna Jameson, after she had her twins, she pretty much gave up the porn business?
Yeah. Well, yeah. She
still marketed and everything.
No, I don't know if she's actually performing. A lot of times, folks will go into producing. Most of the female stars, and I'm sure this works this way for the male stars too. If they're going to put their name on something, they're part producer now. There's not a lot. Yeah. There's not a lot of just, you know, show up, get your check for that day, and then move on. You're actively involved in the whole production and the marketing of the product.
And that's what Jessica is doing with this whole Wicked educational video. She's, you know, a big part of it. You know, she's not only talking to people, actual real life couples and everything. So it's a really one-on-one thing with it she does. So it's a great education. We have a line goes from anywhere from anal all the way through light bondage and stuff.
Well, that's kind of a cool projection. She can go from like actual performing porn star to porn anchor / reporter.
Yep, and instructing people on how to do it and do it correctly.
Well, yeah. No, actually, that actually is quite sensible.
Right.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So I am really excited. We'll do a recap with some of the products that we've been talking about, but I want to get you two, because the perspective is unique around here. Spent the weekend, like I said, in Phoenix, and there was just all this family that showed up, and it was just kind of hilarious. There was 8 people in this very adorable little 3-bedroom house, and funny people and all this kind of stuff. And some of them are on their second marriage. Some of them have been married 2 or 3 times and they're single again. They are all pretty much in their late 40s and early 50s. And this whole conversation, of course, the Great Northern Sexcast came up, and we've got new Facebook fans as a result of it. Yay! But they were all talking about, one gal was saying, oh, it's so good to be over needing that anymore. And then half of us are like,
needing that?
Companionship, sex, a partner, whatever kind you're into, type of thing. So she sat there and went down that path of being, you know, my business is doing great. I do whatever I want. I don't have to answer anybody. And somebody finally said, yeah, but are you getting laid?
Right.
And boy, did it ever get quiet at that point. So I guess what I'm asking you guys is, what would you say to anyone that's wanting to get back in the game after, you know, a major significant breakup, or who is maybe even sharing her mind? And she's a smart woman who's funny and she's accomplished and, you know, and all of that other kind of stuff. Would you say, bah, humbug to that? Or,
you know, is going to go through periods in their life where they're just fine on their own. And actually, if you're not fine on your own, I think you need to really look into why you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone, myself included, that haven't spent years by themselves. Now, I mean, she may have been quiet, or someone may have been quiet. I know a lot of folks, but that doesn't mean that they don't have secret friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. Nobody likes to cough up their fuck buddies.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's going through there, you know.
It's not talked about.
But even so, yeah, I mean, that's what that is for. You know, that's just, you know, it's a, a nice natural itch that needs to be scratched every now and then. But, you know, we have toys for that if you're not doing it. Because even if it's, you know, friends with benefits, there's still work involved. But, you know, for the most part, and from when I've seen friends that have just, you know, been on their own for a while and then met someone or did this and that, it sounds so cliche, but they had stopped looking. You know, they just stopped putting that much effort into it because it was just so much work. Yeah. Or they cut back, or they found other things to do, and just, you know, keeping yourself busy. I mean, the amount of friends I know that are on their first or second marriages, and these are excellent marriages that met through online, it's fascinating because it's beyond, you know, it's nothing that ever interested me, but I know some amazing marriages that happen because there's like, once you hit 40, 50, 60, you know what the hell you want.
Yeah.
And you're ready to
and
settle down.
I'm perfectly, I think it's perfectly reasonable to say what I like and don't like at that point. Yeah, you don't have a freaking clue in your 20s.
No.
Oh,
you have a
God,
better
no.
grasp on it now.
But it just if someone's fine, and when they're not being fine, then they'll go forward again.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, I didn't get married till I was 30, and my marriage lasted about 11 years, and then I went online. It was probably a little too soon for me, to be honest with you, but I had one of my Jewish mother dear friends insist. She's like, you need to get out of the house and, whatever, because for those of who don't know the story, my ex, I caught him with his Russian assistant, and yes, her name is Olga. You can't make that shit up. But, caught him. And, so I was a little messed up over that. And she's like, just, go out and just go out on some dates. Well, I had no idea what I was doing, right? So I go to the, biggest one out there that you can think of and, do a profile. And I put in a section that was called deal breakers. And it was like, your desire to have kids. I knew I hadn't had kids, wasn't gonna at that age. And then tobacco use of any kind. I didn't want spit cups, and stuff like that. I mean, there was just certain things that I was absolutely not willing, to compromise on. So I lasted a whopping 30 days on the website because it was overwhelming. If you've never done it before, the amount of mail, email that you get and stuff, it's like you can't even sort through it. It was just like crazy. So I said, okay, I'm not ready for this. And because I went out on a couple dates where I came home and I'm like, I washed my hair for that. Because the lie height, and this is for everybody who don't know this. If a guy tells you that he's 5'7", he's 5'4". That's the lie height. Okay. So anyway, just went out on a couple, really crummy dates. And then there was a couple guys that I was going to meet that I'm like, they just seem really nice. And the last one on the last day that I was on the site has been my boyfriend for 5.5 years. So, and we live together now and all that. We are planning on getting married at some point. So it can happen, but it's like, and I kind of didn't mean to. It was kind of one of those accidental things. I think I would have wanted, to be back out there, but it was just really weird to hear this stuff going around the room.
I do think there should be some sort of I'm really divorced sort of card you should carry, though. I do have some folks that, just find out that someone's...
certified?
Yeah, certified.
Oh.
Certified, I'm actually divorced card. Because
That's
I've had
great.
quite a few friends who just find out that when they say they're separated or they say they're divorced, they're not quite there yet.
Or it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Well, I'm complicated.
What isn't?
Tell me. Yeah.
What isn't?
Yeah. But I think that would be handy, or something, or you should, on your page where you have to post your divorce papers.
You're brilliant. You know what? Yes. Okay. Because you hit on like 4 different things right there. Number one, yes, proof that there's an actual decree that's occurred. That's huge. But the other thing is there should be like varying little certification programs with week-long seminars to be tested as to whether or not you're suitable to be unleashed on the dating public.
And this is totally gender neutral. Totally gender neutral.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, or no.
I think that's probably one of the reasons I feel insanely lucky with a relationship. I've been in it's almost 7 years now. It was, with a very old and dear friend. And I'm like, because the idea of dating just always was like, oh, that's too much work. It just seems too much work. But then I also have a very large group of theater friends, so I was always surrounded by a lot of people. So I maybe I didn't feel as isolated as maybe someone who didn't have such an insanely large group of friends.
That is so funny. Well, I think we need to work on this divorce rehab program. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, your 30-day, you just got the needy chip, so you have to wait. You're on a 15-day hold, and then you can go back and try to get back through the self-esteem part of the program. I think it would be great. Colleen, you're so smart. So, guys, let's recap. We got a couple minutes left here. Coming up on Valentine's Day, and some of the things I just want to, in case you missed earlier, that I think are some of my favorite things. Michael, the We Vibe once again is.
It's the We Vibe 4.
We Vibe 4 and the 4 Plus. The 4 Plus is the one that's got the Bluetooth capabilities.
Okay.
But it's a great capability if you have any kind of tech savviness to you. But you can go out to dinner and secretly put it on a mode or something. But vibrating panties as well could be just as good for a date night or something. You guy can have the controller. And
I will not let my boyfriend. He doesn't even know how to reboot his computer. He is not going to have anything electronic that has anything to do with my hoo-ha. I'm just saying.
Well, then you could get him the single-use vibrating cock ring.
There you go.
There you go.
So
Yes.
this way you can you can try something something out, but not feel that you have that much of a dollar amount if you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. Well, okay, you know how it's going to work out, but whether you like how you're getting there.
Right.
And then the new lubes are called again?
It's the Wicked line. Now,
Okay.
they have the flavored ones that we have in like candy apple and salted caramel, but they also carry the unflavored, more traditional lubricants.
We have the
also.
chill, which is a little, little chilly too. We have the ultra, which is, we do have the water base, the silicone, all that. It's a whole really nice line.
How do you guys track like customer preference? I mean, obviously what's moving off the shelves, but it's like, what do you hear on the feedback of like the chill one?
Our customers really give us great feedback. Our
Do they?
employees that we have at the stores, they really get a really good bond with the customers. So they'll
Okay.
come back and, they'll tell them, oh, I like this, or no, I didn't like this. And then we start discussing, okay, well, we're getting more no's on this, so let's get rid of this and get something that people really, really want.
Right. Well, and once again, too, like maybe you try one and it's like, yeah, that wasn't really my favorite, even though it moved off the shelf, wasn't necessarily. So you guys probably keep pretty close.
We do. The one thing that is, which would be a great gift for guys as well, is we do carry this called On. It's a clit stimulator. And it drives the women nuts. I'm telling you, it's really, really great product. And if that, you want the gift that definitely keep giving to her, it's called On. And we do we have a little tester in there. You can put it on your tongue. I tried it and it just made me, saliva.
Really?
Yeah. So if you have a problem with moisture or keeping wet, try the On. You'll stay wet for hours.
Really? Okay, that's actually good to know, especially for women as they start to age. It's an issue, and there's TV commercials
There
about
are.
it, with disclaimers that scare the living daylights out of me. Oh, your head might fall off, but you're moist, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are they circling in slow motion?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no
There's
idea.
something about commercials for women. They're just absolutely mind-bogglingly asinine. For the most stuff.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're
I
pretty
did
bad.
want to mention before we do cut out of here, we do have a contest. Our Facebook listeners or people on our Facebook, we do have a win 2 tickets to the 50 Shades movie coming out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That movie's coming out Thursday. I think the preview is Thursday, February 12th. The actual movie comes out on the 14th. But
Okay.
this contest, you actually be able to go to the theater in Burnsville, I believe. It is it's the Paragon Theater. It's a 21 and up. You get drinks and everything.
Oh, nice.
But we're giving away. We have gift bags. We got drawings and everything at all our stores. Plus, we'll
Swag.
be doing. Well, it's more. We do give away a lot of the Wicked lubes and everything. We got a lot of packets for that. But if you just go into any of our stores, sign up for the register for this 52 tickets to 50 Shades. Also, we're doing the Facebook thing. So just
And
like
that's
us.
the Fantasy Gifts Facebook, not the Great Northern Sexcast.
Right, it's the
okay.
Fantasy Gifts Facebook. Sign up to win 2 tickets to the 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God, that is, and to win that, what a great date.
It would be a great day night, yeah.
It's taken care of. So yeah, please, all of you guys, thanks so much for taking the time to join us here on the Great Northern Sexcast. We'll still have some time to talk about some new stuff. So if you guys come up with anything else, that'd be really cool. And I am in love. The idea of the pheromone spray for the sheets, I think that is cool as heck. I'm going to try some of that. But yeah, we can talk about some more stuff next week as we get ready, and we'll just see if anybody's filming in libraries or ripping crowns off of heads or leaving mass quantities of condoms in under bridges at bus stations next week.
Yeah, I wonder how that, when they auction off the things they find. I wonder who's going to auction off
A gross of condoms.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's
At this point, I hope they just donate it to, some sex educations or something.
Or a project,
Project,
Yeah.
give away free condoms, that'll help.
I love it. I love it. So any final thoughts, Ms. Bertino?
Hopefully everything will come in this week. We're going to bust our butts and get everything out. So look forward to some really packed stores this upcoming weekend and into Valentine's.
And come say hi and check us out at Facebook at Great Northern Sexcast and as well at GN Sexcast on Twitter. Have a super great week, everybody.
You guys too.
Bye.